Hey everyone, talking about Relique d'Amour by Oriza Legrand. Again, sorry for the mispronunciation. And this has notes of fresh herbs, pine, powdery notes, white lily, pepper, oak, incense, myrrh, elemi, musk, moss, waxed wood, woody notes, and pepper. So there's a lot going on there, but it's very cohesive. It really kind of comes together into something that just feels like a recognizable scent, not just like, oh, there's someone threw a jumble of notes in here and kind of each doing their own thing. It's more artistic than wearable for me, but I really appreciate these kind of scents, especially just to sample because they're so interesting, so different from a lot of other stuff. So it opens, and I've seen a lot of other people say the same thing on Fragrantica. Definitely agree. Like kind of this damp, mossy cave, or almost like pebbles in a river with a light mist falling type of thing. Like just very evocative of real nature, but not in the way that a lot of niche naturey scents are, where they can just be super green or, rain falling. Like this is really specifically kind of mossy, damp river pebbles with some trees in a garden, around you. And the dominant floral here is definitely lily. Not just dominant for a floral, but it's very present. So in the opening, it's not necessarily any one note that stands out, more just, again, that naturey feel of like, oh, you're in a river, you're in a cave, stuff's damp, maybe a bit humid, but also like kind of cool. Yeah, and for some reason that pebbles accord, and I've seen pebbles listed as a note in other fragrances before. It's not here, but it really does kind of have that smell in a good way. Maybe not from a wearable sense, but from an interesting, artistic, olfactory art perspective, yeah. As it kind of starts to dry down, like this definitely isn't linear, I would say. I like the opening the best for that evocative nature feel it gives, but as it progresses, the lily becomes more and more present. And some people associate lily with older women, quote, quote, or a funeral home or something. I'm not getting that from this at all. I think it smells very unisex overall, first of all. And second, there's nothing kind of super dour about this lily. It just sort of adds this interestingness. And the powdery notes here are kind of just well blended with everything else. I mean, it's definitely powdery, but it's not one of those that just smells like straight up baby powder, or like there's an overdose of some specific type of powdery note. It just kind of is like a sprinkling of powder mixed into it. It's not as woodsy or spicy, at least to me, as you might think from seeing the notes with how many different kind of, incense and pepper and this type of woods and that. It's just really well blended, and that all kind of comes together. And as it goes further into the dry down, that sort of incense and kind of woods and spice comes out a bit more, but at no point on my skin or the test strip for me does it ever become some sort of like super woodsy, spicy, intense scent, nor is the incense ever kind of in your face. It's more like the remnants of incense that was burning earlier, if that makes sense, surrounded by lily petals, some pebbles sort of still out in nature. So I would say if you like really unique sort of naturey scents, definitely check this out. It retails for $165 for 100 ml, and honestly that's a pretty damn good deal for kind of how artistic this is. Extremely unique, really high quality. If you're looking for something that's going to be, getting a ton of people drawn to you because you just smell so delicious or mass appealing, that's not going to be this. I could see it, depending on how it works with your skin chemistry, it might kind of give off an earthy vibe more than you want. But it also could pull people in like, oh, that's really interesting. And it does smell a bit soapy at times too. So yeah, I think definitely worth sampling. You can get a sample again at Lucky Scent. I'll put the link in the description, or a bottle there if you want, and check it out, especially if you just like to try different stuff, even if you think you might not want to wear it, just for the artisticness of it and just kind of getting a feel for lots of different fragrances out there. This is a good one. Yeah, bottom line, artistic, not super wearable in the sense of, especially if you're coming from designers or things like that and just looking for something that's going to make you smell great to everybody all the time. But if you just kind of like the experience of trying different things, Or if you like sort of earthy, naturey scents, then yeah, this one might be for you.